Hello. Welcome back to MemoryINKers.blogspot.com for Watch and Wait Wednesday. This is the watch portion. Today we're going to use all of these items. It is the finial textured embossing folder, the very vanilla cardstock, the pocket full of Posies DSP, some Baja Breeze cardstock, ink, markers. We're going to be using the Framelits Labels folder, the Blossom Punch, the Victoria Crocheted Ribbon, the Subtle Glimmer Brads, the Scalloped Oval Punch, and the Large Oval Punch to create this card. For now, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way so we can get started. Do you remember last week we worked on this card? And I taught you how to do the flower with the bone folder and tearing the paper in two to get that nice suede effect. And I promised you that this week we would do this card. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm not going to go over the flower again because we did that last week. If you missed Watch and Wait Wednesday last week, just go back and check for the pink card, and it'll show you how to do the flowers. So I already pre-cut some of the things out already with the Framelits labels. What you're going to use is the three middle labels, not the very smallest, and not the two largest. So you'll use those three. Then I ran the vanilla through the Finial Press embossing folder, and I did the same thing with this piece of Designer Series paper, and this one we will not go through. But one of the things I wanted to teach you, on top of a few other things, is that if you take the brush end of your marker and you color the edge, you can see I started here, can you see the color? And you go along the edge, you're going to get a very nice dark color. It seems really, really dark, but that is the color for the Baja Breeze, and when it sets on top, it just helps it to pop up a little bit. That'll make more sense to you as I finish putting the card together. But the technique I really wanted to show you today was this one. And I don't know if you can see it. This is what the regular paper looks like. And then the other one has embossing on it from the Finial Press embossing folder. But it's kind of hard to see. And although that's kind of cool because it gives it a nice texture when you feel it, it's a lot more fun if you can see it. So if you just take your sander and you just start to rub, can you see how the image is starting to pop up? And you'll do this all over the card. You kind of need to be careful because of the fact that Designer Series paper is thin. It is paper, not cardstock. And if you rub too hard on the edges back and forth, so you might want to go like that off to the edges, because it can tear. I have torn it, and that's always frustrating. So just rub until you get the desired look that you want, how much or how little. Okay, so then you will want to add that to the front of your card. But my tip is that if you're going to put ribbon on, I like to be able to fold it over. So I'm just going to put a little bit of snail on the edges. And because this is that crocheted ribbon, you want to be careful where you put it. So I put a little on each side and then some right in the center. I'm going to line it up with my grid paper so that I can keep this kind of straight. And I'm going to then line up with the grids, and hopefully I get it straight. My theory is perfection is overrated, in case you weren't well aware of that. And then this way, you can just take the edges and fold them over, and that way they're not in the way. Then just a little bit more snail. I always like to snail over any ribbon to kind of also help it stay in place. And set that on your card. You can also darken the edges of this too if you wanted to. Then what you're going to do is you're going to layer all of these pieces like this. And then you'll put your fancy flower in the center. And of course a sentiment on there. Alright? And what you end up with is this beautiful card. I hope you really liked it. I hope you enjoyed learning how to sandpaper with an embossed folder on your Designer Series paper. Hope you'll come back next week